Hey, thanks for tuning in. Ben Coombs here. First live stream. Glad you can tune in. I got a guest here tonight, Richard Shanahan.
Hey folks.
My co-guitar player, co-cohort in the Honey Badger outfit. Little band we have. We play around the Quinte region of Southern Ontario in Canada. I don't know where everyone's tuning in from. Yeah, let's see if we can get this up here so I can get a chat going. So, anybody have any questions or anything, go ahead, write them in the chat. If you're watching this after the fact, throw a comment down below. I'll try to answer any and all questions I can. If I can't, I'll ask this guy. If he doesn't know, we could ask other people we know, but sure. All right, here we go, live. One watching. I assume that's us. This is very weird being on this side of it. Trying this for the first time. I've watched a lot of channels, and speaking of which, I just want to put out some shout outs that made me decide to do this. Joe Wentz, Mully, what the hell, brother? Like, thanks. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. Johnny Bean, Dave Nesdahl, Jay Hannon, you guys are all great. New friends I've made online. And hey, Jim Guidry, all the way from Louisiana. Good to see you, brother.
Hey.
I was telling Richie about you earlier. Good to see you. Podcast. That's what Johnny Bean says every time there's a dead spot. Podcast. We have to come up with a name. We have to come up with a name. Okay, this is weird seeing myself on a delay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Not gonna lie. So I sprung this on, excuse me. I sprung this on you, what, mid-afternoon today?
Yeah, I was on my afternoon coffee break. You got the message? It was like, you YouTube live from your basement tonight? I'm like, yeah, why not? Like, sure. By the way, your pedal came in. I'm like, oh, well, sure, why not? Definitely not.
Yeah. So we have a pedal to unveil tonight. We'll wait, a few minutes if you don't mind, Jim. See if we can get some other people to jump in. By the way, how's the weather down there in Louisiana? I bet you it's a heck of a lot better than we have here. Just guessing.
Although not
Hey, R2, R3 locking nut. Hey, what's up, brother? Another cohort I met and became a friend with online here. Hey, R2, are you on Facebook? Joe Wins. There he is.
Hey.
The man himself. Cold and rainy, eh, Jim? Oh, well, we got that here too. We were a few degrees above freezing, and it's been raining on and off all day. So that's all right. So, well, geez, look at this. 4 people watching. Not too shabby, huh? For a couple crazy Canucks, just winging it, seeing what we can do. How's the video? Okay? Like, we're centered okay? Too close, too far? You can hear us okay? And me doing hand things, look at this.
Yeah, this is kind of fucking weird watching. So.
You can't say that.
Kind of flippy, weird.
Yeah. It is weird. So, excuse me, fortunately, since we are here in the Owl Street Studios, headquarters of the Honey Badger outfit and any other wingding projects we decide to come up with. Since we've got a few guys in the house, you guys want to see a guitar? Thanks, Jim. Looks good, he says.
Thanks. Mikasa, my happy place.
Yeah. And for you guys that are just tuning in, this is Richard Shanahan, guest this evening, and hopefully, have him co-host. Once Joe's going to shoot me some information on Google Hangouts and how to set that all up so I can do that. And I can be at my place, he can be here, or what have you. Or we can both be here and we can get other guys to jump in. Any of you guys. If I can do it, you can do it. Why not, right? Everyone's saying hey to each other. Looks good. It's a friendly little community. Well, you know, it's like Facebook groups and such. It's all the same deal, except we're on YouTube and someone's yappering. And so yeah, let's show a guitar.
All right. What do we?
I think we should. We'll ramp it up eventually. Well, actually, no, because that's. Why don't you show them your newest Telecaster?
All right.
Okay, R2, R3. I was gonna say, if you were, hit me up with a friend request. You crack me up. I like you. Yeah, you're a cool guy. So this fell into his life not too long ago.
Guess we'll have to wait a second to see. Oh, no, she's a little high. Well, here. I'll let you do that.
I'm just going to run this by the camera slowly for you guys to see as Rich describes it.
Alright, so we've got here is a 2011 Fender Modern Player Deluxe Telecaster. It's a semi-hollow body, nice F-hole cut in there, and in a very unusual run for Fender, has P90s in it. Nothing fancy or flashy, just Fender designed P90s. Really nice guitar. I gotta say, just blown away by the quality of this instrument. My cousin had one of these. Her husband picked up for a couple years ago for Christmas, and I fell in love with it. And I said, you know, if I ever saw one come up, I'd purchase one. And then Fender went and discontinued it, like 2 years into the run. It was just kind of a disappointment. And one of them came up just before Christmas. All the bills were paid, presents were bought, had a little bit of money left over, and at that price, somebody's getting himself a Christmas present. So that's how she came into my life. And it's a great guitar, absolutely fantastic guitar. Made in China during Fender's brief foray into manufacturing in China under the Fender badge. And you know what? I'm not going to knock it at all for quality. I would say it's on par with anything that they're cranking out of the Mexican plant. There's a few things cosmetically that you can tell they definitely didn't go the extra mile on. Like every single fret where it's tapped in, there's a big crack in the candy shell polyurethane that they've got in the neck. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's not really that noticeable either. It's not a deal breaker. You can't feel it through the finish or anything. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, it plays great. It sounds absolutely fantastic. And it was a heck of a deal.
Jaden James is in the house. Good to see you, Jaden.
Hello.
Yeah, Jim Gindry says, very nice, very nice. R2, R3 says, woohoo, P90s.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very nice. And you guys know, if I'm a tele guy, and it's not too shabby. Like, it reminded me of those Squires that Pixie Licks is always going on about. You can pick them up at Guitar Center. Well, we don't have Guitar Center. And the exchange rate is basically...
It makes it not a deal anymore.
Yeah, 20% exchange rate, give or take. Plus, we usually see a little extra surcharge to get across the border and stuff like that. So, find these things, yeah, they're a nice little deal and beautiful little guitar, buddy. Yeah. I like the vintage tuners too. Always have.
You know, if I had one thing that I didn't like about it, I would say it's the vintage tuners. But that being said, I haven't had any problems with them. So I'm not going to do anything about it until I have a reason to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very nice, very nice. And yes, we're just waiting a little bit longer before the unboxing. I want to see if we can get a few more people in here. Appreciate you all watching. This is really cool. Really cool.
Well, should we plug it in for folks?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I'm sure somebody would just go, what the heck is going to put it away when it play?
We haven't really done a sound check at all, so if it's too loud, too quiet, distorting, let us know. Yeah, that's too loud.
Ooh, yeah, that's not in tune either.
an interesting tuning.
Oh, you know what? I haven't actually played this since I tested the shot straw the other day.
Nice. Let's hear that bad boy or two or three. Well, there we are. R2R3 says, yeah, man, sounds good.
Man, why don't you tell the folks what amplifier we're playing through there?
Well, we are playing through a B52 AT112 because I don't ever remember what it is, so I have to read it every time I see it. That's been your gigging amp as of recently?
Yeah, just because I've been carrying the PA lately, so I haven't had the extra room to carry around a head in a cab, so I've been using it. Yeah, B52 AT112, 60 watt tube amp. I'm not entirely sure which Southeast Asian country it's made in. I think Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken. I guess they go undergo inspection once they come to the States. Good quality amp anyways. I never had any experience with B52 amps till I got it. I traded a guy a Modern Players HSH Telecaster Stratocaster with a mahogany body. We'll do something on that guitar one time in the future.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah, but
Terry, if you're watching that, sorry, brother. But it turned into a Marshall head, so we'll just leave it at that.
yeah, and then I turned it into the B52 on a trade, and I gotta say I've really been blown away by it. It's a great sounding amp, clean, dirty. You'll hear it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice. What do we got going on? What are you guys mainly into? Guitars, amps, pedals? We got a little bit of everything around here. Unfortunately, as far as my stuff goes, I brought my pedal board over tonight because I didn't feel like bringing it over for next band practice. And if you follow me on Instagram and stuff, you'll see I built a little flyaway board that I keep at work because you guys know I jam at work all the time. You know, on breaks and stuff like that. Got to keep those hands busy, so it's helped. I won't be lying, you know, playing here and there every single day. Just play every day, no matter what. It keeps your hands in shape, that's for sure.
Yep.
I think you've noticed a difference lately.
Yes. Yes.
Just trying, doing my thing. So guys, what do you guys want to see next? Because I know there's a pedal of his I want to show off soon that he picked up not so long ago as well. If you guys are pedal heads, but I just want to see, what do you guys want to see? Oh, we're up to 5 watching. And we're buffering here, so now we're going to be more behind. Nice. Is it buffering at all for you guys? Just curious. Are we maxing out Rich's bandwidth? Just curious. By the way, shout out to Steph for doing technical to actually hit us to go live and stuff, so you don't see me all, what am I doing? Knocking the camera everywhere and chaos ensues for 30 seconds and hello, and yeah. Thank you, Steph. We love you. R2R3 says, pedals are cool, man. why don't you show them that little pawn shop acquisition that you got recently?
Oh, okay.
Now remember, folks, if we call a price, that's in Canadian dollars. So if you're watching from Canada, you get it. And if you're in the US, just think, if it sounds good to you at that price, just imagine you're get it for an extra 20% off. Gotta scour those pawn shops. You never know, you might find a gem.
Alright. Let's see how we're doing there. I think that should be pretty well in frame and focus.
I think as long as you hold it steady, it should be somewhat clear. Little buffering, but okay so far. Thanks, R2. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give us a like. Because I'm not logged in as me. Thanks, Rich. You gave us a like. So, yeah.
All the way from over here.
Yeah, that's trippy. Okay, so he's picking it up, is what I'm saying. All right. Hey, oh, let's get the head cam. Nope, apparently not. We're just that far behind. So, yeah.
Alright.
And just hope, yeah. So tell them what you got there.
So we've got here an original 1980s electro harmonic small clone, or sorry, not 80s, an 80s,
Early 80s. Early.
EHX small clone, the infamous chorus pedal made famous by Nirvana's Nevermind, and it's used by Kurt Cobain. It's one of the luscious, nicest, wettest chorus pedals I've ever used. I've lusted after one ever since I was a wee teenage boy. And I finally came across one in a pawn shop for $60. All of $60. $59.99. And I leapt on it like a jaguar on a lame antelope or whatever they eat.
Can you say that?
I'm no zoologist. But yeah, absolutely fantastic pedal. I see a little beat up, scuffed, but that's just character, right? Yeah, wet, luscious, delightful. It has that annoying barrel plug, which I'll probably have somebody swap out at some point, or do it myself, one or the other. But
if he does it himself, we'll shoot a video.
There you go. Yeah, fantastic, love it. Always wanted one. It's got a little bit of noise and click when you hit the switch the first time it powers up, but after you've done that once, like if you click it once during sound check, you'd be good for a show kind of thing. But the initial clunk and hiss does kind of scare you. I refer to it as kick starting the pedal. But yeah, she's a lovely one, and at $60 Canadian, I was blown away. Fantastic deal on it.
Not too shabby at all. Who do we got in here? Mr. B. Is that Bruce? Hey, buddy. Another friend on here. And I see my sister is on here. Hello. Nice to see you there. Yeah, nifty and not bad. Yeah, so figure if you guys picked it up in the US for $45, not a bad deal. So yeah, that'll be about what they, yeah, not too shabby, sir. Not too shabby at all. And the funny part is, both of us had got rid of all chorus pedals off our boards last year, like late last year, I think.
Yeah.
For some, just realized I was using it less and less, and I just took it off and forget what I put in. Well, that's been a spot that gets heavy rotation in and out of. That's the holding spot for something new that you gotta have it, and then you get it, and you use it, and then something else comes along, and oh, yeah, I need one of those. Yeah. So, but ironically enough, around the same time he picked that up, I put a chorus back on my pedal board. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Good to see, good to see. Ooh, 8 people watching. 7 likes. Wow, cool, thanks guys. That's awesome. Every little bit helps. I wonder. Oh, 9. Did I say 8, 9? We're going viral, folks. We're going viral. Look out. we might even hit double digits. And hey, if we hit double digits the first time out, sure, I'm just elated to death. Thank you all very much. You know, this is really cool.
No, I'm definitely not buffering anymore. No, just a couple seconds behind.
That's weird. Either that or
we've caught up.
Yeah. Yay! Where were you guys are? Yay! All right. Actually, why not? I want to show them the chorus pedal I got because it ties in. Sorry, guys.
Which actually is an old chorus pedal I had.
Yes.
We could do an entire episode about my chorus pedals. I used to abuse chorus. That's why I took one off my board. I was using it as a crutch, and then I got a rotary speaker pedal, which I fell in love with, and then I just found that the slow rotary settings it wasn't satisfying my chorus needs, so I got a chorus pedal again. And I got the chorus pedal in my dreams, so I'm happy camper, right?
And I was using the same chorus for years. I have an 80s Boss CE2, made in Japan, you know, well, the standard, right? For a lot of people, that's the standard. And it got to the point I didn't like gigging with it just in case something happened, because I have a tendency, especially in my previous band, I spilled beer on stuff. And I didn't have to drive to and from a lot of gigs, so yeah, we'll just leave it at that. And you know, I like to be a little Captain Jack Sparrow, elegantly tipsy, thank you. So I retired it because he had available to him, or we worked out a trade of some kind here, a mod tone aqua chorus. And I have to tell you, when he got this, he says, I think I found a match for your CE2. And I was shocked at how close it was. And I said, perfect, if you ever decide to get rid of it, let me know. So I waited the 4 months, as you know, because he was going through chorus pedals left, right, and center. 4 months later, or so, it came into mine. Bruce says, I don't blame you, Ben. I had quite a few scotch on the rocks tonight. Well, there we go, brother. Oh, Bruce says, hello, Richard Shanahan.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, you may find you get a few people like checking you out and stuff. Yeah, speaking of which, I haven't mentioned it, like I mentioned earlier, our band together, the Honey Badger outfit. You've never seen me mention it on any of the other guys' channels or anything, because I'm not there to promote and stuff like that. I will say, I do have a bit of a deal with a local music store chain, sponsored by them. They hook me up, and they have for years. You know, we've just become friends, and I try to send them business their way as much as I can, and they help me out, you know, vice versa. So I'm going to be doing some gear reviews in the future. Some homes, some shot at some of their stores. They were kind enough to let me use their space, and they're going to lend me some product to use for reviews and stuff like that, which is awesome. And so you may have seen me refer to my sponsor in the past in the chats and stuff. That's who they are, Arden's Music. If you want to check them out, you know, on Facebook, or they got a website, ardensmusic.com. They got a lot of, they ship all over. They got a reverb page. They got some cool stuff at decent prices, and like.
They oftentimes beat the big box stores on the prices too.
Yeah. Like, we don't have Guitar Center in Canada, like I mentioned. We have Long and McQuaid. Same thing. Like, literally the same thing, right down to the fact that you can't get a good answer or a knowledgeable sales staff. At least in our local chapter. Just my opinion, you know, take it or leave it. And so I always just, and I prefer to deal with mom and pop as well. And that's what Arden's is. You know, second generation owner, I believe. 3 locations, brick and mortar, plus doing the online thing. They're going to be at NAMM, you know, walking around, putting in their orders like everybody else. So give them a shout out. But yeah, check them out if you can. They help us out. You know, so I'm just saying, you know, I don't get paid by them in any way. So if I tell you about a product and I think it's good, that's my opinion. If I think it's bad, I probably won't post the video. But generally, or I'll just pick out good gear anyways, or what I consider good gear. Like you'll probably see some, do some electro harmonics reviews. I'll probably have him show up for some as well, because why not? fun. Why not? Yeah, electro harmonics, MXR, probably do some stuff on them. Fender guitars, oh yeah, do some Fender reviews. Ibanez, Jackson. What else? Anything else that you guys want? I'm just thinking that's mainly what they carry, but I can try to do other stuff as well if you guys want to see something. Bruce wonders, are your live broadcasts going to be random or scheduled? We were talking about that earlier. I was thinking, because I don't necessarily want to do them alone, which is cool. Like I can, but I wouldn't mind having like bouncing stuff off him. You know, just works better with two people, keeps conversations going, things like that. Keep up with the chat. Hopefully, if it ever gets to the point where it's people are asking questions here and there, this and that. I'm hoping maybe Saturdays, unless we're gigging, of course. But that could work, because we gig more on Friday nights, it seems, in this area.
Yeah, so the boys seem to want to have us in Friday nights, and they.
So we don't really do a lot on Saturdays as a result, because we're not 22 anymore. Well, I'm not. There is an age difference a bit between us, but I'm not. He's still not that age either, no. So, yeah. So maybe Saturday nights, you know, especially this time of year, you know, but who knows, you know, there's a, you know, like Johnny Bean and Dave, they've got their deal 3 nights a week, and definitely I don't want to stomp on them at all, or not that I could, like they've got such a great show going, but who knows, it, you know, it depends on schedules, you know, days off, stuff like that, you know, maybe go randomly live on during the day, I kind of like that, like when Joe Wentz goes on live periodically, you know, just kind of pop in, say hey to everybody, and how you doing, but definitely set something up especially, and yeah, see what we can do. Podcast. Well, yeah, again, our band's the Honey Badger Outfit. We do have a Facebook page. There's like literally next to no content on it.
We're not big on the digital media right now.
Yeah, well, except for the whole YouTube thing now, so.
And the irony of that.
Yeah, so you'll probably see a lot of this stuff shared on the band page. I was going to put a link on the band page today, but I forgot. It got busy at work for a little period of time there, here and there, and then I was busy doing cleanups and stuff because I wanted to hit the road as soon as I could to get over here so we could do a dry run and see how this all works, but it seems to be going okay as far as I can tell from what you guys have said. Bruce says, so man, you should video your gigs. We've tried, but we have a bit of an issue with that in the fact that we push a lot of stage volume. We push a lot of stage. We don't mean to. That's why we've downsized to combo amps. Like I run a 112 combo, but it's still loud, Blues Deluxe reissue, and it's loud. He's got a couple of half stacks as well that he likes to pull out. I've got a half stack it's no great half stack, but it works, it serves purpose. So generally we blow out any microphones, so like not physically blowing out, but really distorts. And as far as going through the board, we only ever run vocals through the board. Maybe a kick drum once in a blue moon, but rarely. Just because the clubs we play in, our stage volume is more than enough. And if we turn down, we just can't hear ourselves because we're all deaf. Like, we don't wear earplugs. I know. A lot of people say get those earplugs, but I find we were discussing it the other night. I wear earplugs to try to cut out the drums and bass, which really affects my hearing. And all it does is lets that through completely and cuts out my guitar and vocals. So I've learned to have tinnitus for the last however many, almost 30 years now. So. There you go, R2. He subscribed and will get the alerts. I'll be there. And my sister says, cause you're old. I don't know what that's related to, but sure. Well, yeah. Well, you can say you're my younger sister, so no matter what, I'm old. Shush you. Is it past your bedtime? 8 people watching, 8 thumbs up. Well, there we go. We're batting 1,000. How about that, guys? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Oh, we're buffering again. Oh, back up to 9. So, Do you guys want to see an unboxing? Pedal that hasn't been out too long. When did that pedal come out?
The last January, I believe.
So NAMM last year, probably? Okay, well.
It's been out about pretty much bang on a year. Surprisingly, it's like, as far as, you know, I'm aware, it's kind of been going under the radar. I was unaware of it until I stumbled across it in my search for something else. In a bizarre tournament.
Well, why don't you get the box and we'll take a look here, and I'm going to answer some comments here. My sister says, that's what, see, you can't hear a certain word I'm not going to say on here. True. You blew your ears on Megadeth. Well, I did listen to a fair amount of metal and rock, I still do, but playing with race cars from being a teenager into my 20s, that didn't help either. Open exhaust, yeah, those were quite loud. Oh, you're unboxing it off camera.
Yeah, hold on, I just realized that when I took it.
Oh, great. He's reboxing so he can unbox. Sorry, folks.
I didn't get anything out with the phone.
Like he says, he doesn't do a lot of the high tech. Just the tip. Only the tip of
It was just the tip.
just the tip of the item came out. Can we say that? I don't think we can say that.
I think so. Can we not?
I don't know. I don't know. All right, here he comes. So he's got
a box.
He's got a box. Hold it out arm's length. Dun dun dun! The EHX Hot Wax. And if you're not familiar with what a hot wax is, as you start to open this little sucker, a hot wax is both a 2-in-1 pedal of a crayon and a hot tubes, I do believe.
Yes, sir.
Dun dun.
See that it was packaged in there much more nicely by the good folks at EHX. I just haphazardly stuffed it back in and absent-mindedly pulled it out.
Hey, you can sit.
Wow. Let the fine folks see what's going on.
Hand me the box.
Always Mike Matthews staff there, make sure everything comes neatly packaged. They throw in some sticker swag.
R2R3 says in front row gave me, Pantera gave him Tinnitus. Well,
that'll do it.
Yeah,
That'll
we
do
know
it.
Dimebag's tone, and I'm not surprised.
There we go. So,
and my sister says, please don't say that. Dun dun.
That's what we got there, folks. We got the crayon on this side. Classic hot tubes on that side of the box. Shared EQ, and then the magical blend knob there, which lets you dial in how much of your transparent guitar signal, unaffected by the distortion, is coming through combined with the distortion on your output. So you can blend in, get a really nice, believable tube amp sound, or at least that's what they claim, and that's what I'm hoping I'm going to get out of it. So we're going to find out here in a bit. Mr. Coon?
Well, the nice thing too is the fact of running it into a tube amp, so no matter what, you're going to get that nice tube amp sound. We know that much.
Very true.
Just saying. Just saying. Yeah. I'm curious to try this out. Yeah, nice. So 2-in-1, not a bit. And when you look at that size form factor they used, really that's just 2 micro pedals with a touch more length.
Yeah, it's really not that big. It's the same size chassis, I believe, as the Lester K
so
pedal.
So
that's
nice.
And it's economical of EHX to do that. I see them do it pretty frequently, trying to reuse stuff they already have rather than making new molds. And yeah.
All right.
Yeah, to be noted, it will not operate by battery. They've made it power supply only, as a lot of pedals are doing these days. Greener, better for the environment. And I mean, in this day and age, you should really be using power supply. I can't think of a reason why you would be using a battery over it. You can claim it's got the magical tonal differences, but you can buy adjustable regulating power supplies so you can dial back the sound if you really after that dead battery sound in your fuzz, or like the kind of cool funky things flanger pedals will do as the battery starts dying in them. If you're after that sound, you can get it more consistently and not have to be kind of having that turkey shoot. So See, I say, I avoided the bad words there. Not have that kind of turkey shoot of trying to find, you know, that perfect amount of dead battery.
All right, EHX, I'm just going to say, you're going to have to reseat this knob, because that's maxed, and that's minimized.
No, all right.
I'm just saying, you put it on upside down. You know.
I want them
Rich, I don't know if those of you out there have ever contacted EHX, but let's just say they have several employees that lead a certain lifestyle that's legal in more states by the year, from what I've heard. Just saying. I'm thinking that one was put on after lunch. Just saying. Just saying. So, Bruce says, Ben Coombs, yeah man, test drive that bad boy.
Alright, well, plug it in.
How about you plug it in? I might do some riffing. I think I more or less dialed, or I was going to dial in my usual crayon tone. Because I have a crayon myself that I lent to him as a stopgap until he got that. What should we play through it? Unfortunately, I don't have any of my guitars here. I don't know. I'm going to pull out this.
Alright. So we're going to start with the...
Need a tag.
Let's pop that dog right off now.
Yeah. It's just going to make it a lot easier from the start. R2, R3. Man, I'm a gearhead. Love it. Yeah, man. I actually got together with, I used to pit crew with a buddy of mine from high school. We started, you know, racing together. 1992 was our first year. So three of us got back together just before the holidays. In between Christmas and New Year's. I can't remember now. And we were doing some bench racing, talking about old times, this and that. Yeah, you remember when this guy did? Yeah.
You know, they put it on backwards, so they put it on good.
Well, yeah, because if you're going to do it wrong, you're going to make sure it's on there for good. Well, why don't we leave that for now and see what we can do.
There we go. Alright, so the tone stack and blend are all at 12 o'clock, drives on both channels at 12 o'clock.
Alright, everything is at noon. Great way to start things out.
Running into the V52 once again.
Using the bridge pickup on an LPJ, if you guys are wondering. LPJ that you picked this up not too long ago yourself.
November, yeah.
Well, there we go. Nice little guitar. There's our clean tone. Alright, let's hear Crayon. How's that sound to you guys? Oh, my mother is on here. So, yeah, there we go. Hello, Mom.
Hi, Maggie.
Oh, switch over to the hot wax. I'm curious to hear the difference.
They're the hot twos.
Or the hot twos. Okay, a little more subtle. Oh, yeah, spanky. Ooh, yeah. That was a nice one. That was almost Molly-worthy. Oh, Dad's watching too. There we go. We got the whole family on here. Thank you for the support, folks.
Let's get them both go.
Let's do both. Wow. Nice.
You were showing?
So that's full clean.
That's full clean.
Which,
That's nice.
that's clean. That's full.
And that's full dirty. That gets a little noisy.
So like when you go full maximum dirt. It's a
Maximum.
little hissy.
Yeah, but that's a nice little fuzz tone, really.
You know what? That's actually easy. Maximum gain.
That's
Maximum gain right there.
and totally usable.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just noodling around, guys. I didn't warm up at all before we started. I never get to warm up. R2R3 says, wow, nice dry fuzz. Bruce says, sounds like a solid state amp buzz. Bruce likes it too. Yeah. Into, I guess.
Yeah.
My sister says, I have nothing musician-y to say, but sounds sweet. Yeah. No, see, my dad's watching. He'll say, that's all you need right there. That's just the sound right there. Little reverb, make it nice and warm. None of that fuzz, gain. Keep it clean.
Dave Cooper does not approve.
Maybe just put just a touch, just a touch of a bite on it. That's about it. Nice. We got 8 watching. Nice, nice, nice. This is a nice little guitar too. Now, these pickups are not the original pickups. You guys may see, you know, these usually come with the EMG looking doohickeys. These are not them. What are these out of?
Those are Tone Emporium 59.
These are the...
Big
No,
shout
yeah.
out to
I
Tone
haven't-
Emporium from Ottawa, Ontario. Fellow Canuck company. Wonderful pickups, guys. Absolutely stellar. I can't say enough good things about them. I'm running out of adjectives. It's kind of weird watching this tonight.
I know. It's very weird.
Makes you self-conscious of your movements.
R2R3, now my wife feels another pedal is coming in the house. No kidding, yeah. I don't have that problem. Yeah, this does play nice.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play this since you put those pedals. You used this the other night though, didn't you?
Yeah, I used that Friday night.
That's what I thought, yeah. Very nice, sir, very nice.
Indeed, indeed.
Both of us have a few different guitars we like to bring out. I've been on a bit of a Les Paul kick with the band through the summer. And we're playing my Telecaster that has 2 humbuckers, and then he's been playing a lot of Fender stuff, Strats and Tellies, things like that. Excuse me. And so he called me up a couple days before the show and he says, "What you bringing to the gig on Friday night?" I said, "Tellies. Playing that 71 I gotta try it, I gotta play it." He says, "I guessed as much, alright." And then he showed up with nothing but humbuck and lovin' to offset the single coil. We like to mix it up.
I like that Joe Perry, Brad Whitford dynamic. Somebody's playing a Fender, the other guy's got to be playing a Gibson, style guitar.
Same
Switch it off.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. They're a big influence on us. I'm gonna say for the most part, we play a lot of variety of bar rock. But just imagine if Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers played all your favorite covers one day. That's kind of what we try to do. We're not saying we sound half as good or a tenth as good, but that's what we try to do. Chris says he likes that dynamic. You like dynamic. You should see what he's been pulling out for half a dozen songs. I have to show this off.
No, by all means, by all means. It's a rare bird in these parts.
Now, you guys will probably see these all the time in the U.S., but they don't sell these in Canada.
They refuse.
They refuse to sell these in
for
Canada.
whatever reason.
And this here is a Dean Boca. Because he wanted to add the dynamic of an electric 12 into whatever we were playing, and I agreed.
And I didn't want to have to take out a mortgage to do it.
Yep.
Or I didn't want to have to settle for the daily electro. Because although it's nice, I didn't like it, and I didn't think it was $700 nice.
And you didn't want to wait 3 years for Rickenbacker.
And take out a mortgage.
And take out a mortgage. And neither one of us want to play a double neck. Unless we can sit down. And then even that, I don't want to haul a double neck. Like,
it's a coffee table.
It is. Yeah.
It's a coffee table with 2 necks.
And we're big on hard shell cases for everything, so that's a coffee table inside another coffee table. Yeah, so. Yeah.
Coffee table.
She's pretty close on the tuning, so I'm just going to quickly, for those not familiar with it, and I have been lusting for an electric 12 for, well, since you've known me.
Yeah.
I want, like, I don't know, a Fender 12 or something like that, but again, mortgage, everything, like you said. I remember Gibson briefly was making a 12-string Les Paul, which I was drooling over, but at $7,000 US, it looked like would be my cost. I was like, no, sorry.
Now, it should also be noted, this guitar originally had zebra, just Dean ceramic humbuckers in it. They sound good. They weren't my cup of tea. I had the dream of that lusher, kind of closer to a Rickenbacker kind of sound. So once again, the good folks at Tone Emporium. These are the Tone Emporium P90 humbucker size pickups. It's fantastic, lush. It's much more Rickenbacker-y like than it was before. Before it sounded much closer to the 12-string side of an EDS 1275. Just that Jimmy Page kind of 12-string sound. Whereas now this is that California kind of sound. Yeah. Well, like
so R2, R3 was saying nice hollow body. Is it?
Semi-hollow. Yeah.
But yet the size, it's basically Les Paul.
Up there.
I have one. Yeah, and have the pick that's the same color as the mat that you're keeping the pick on. And if it's slightly out of tune, sorry, you know, the weather's been like crap, and I don't blame him for keeping this thing perfectly in pitch. He didn't even know we were going to be doing this until this afternoon.
I don't have a chance to tune anything up.
Sorry. Jangly awesomeness. Let's go to both, which is a beautiful setting. He knows how quiet it's up to.
Yeah, that's my preferred setting on this guitar.
Jangly.
Yeah. Can't do really riffy stuff because I don't play a 12 much anymore. Or at all. At all.
You know, for being a 12, the neck isn't too fat. Like it's not unwieldy in the hand.
It reminds me.
It's girthy. There's no question there, but it's not unwieldy.
And people will say the necks are kind of the same, but it reminds me of some of the SG necks.
The profile, yeah, it's really
like
thin neck. So
yeah, like it's wide, but there's not much going on depth wise. Very D shape. I think D shape. I can never remember the neck shapes.
Yeah, I think you're right. A D shape. I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a soft D.
Place and wish you were here. Oh wow. Yeah, see, I butcher it every time. Like, Molly would be proud. Molly would be proud. No, sorry, I tried. I tried, Bruce. Oh, here. Using my thick pick. Lovely little guitar, and unique guitar with the P90s. It's its own unique little beast. Love it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
What else you guys want to see? What time is it here? 9 o'clock. We've been going just about an hour. 54 minutes. Cool, cool. You're doing good? Doing good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm having a blast. This is really neat. It's great that all you guys jumped in, and, you know, this is really neat. Like, you always wonder, you know, you're sitting there chatting away, and you want, you know, like, these guys cool, like friends, you know. And I know a few of you have sent friend requests. If I could talk tonight, that would have been wonderful. Friend requests on Facebook the last few days, because I just feel like, you know, we've been hanging out, chatting and stuff. I've been watching a lot of old videos of the guys I mentioned at the top of the show that inspired me to do this, and, you know, you guys were always commenting, and one of the things like I learned is, you know, read out the comments, because people have been watching this later on and they can't see the chat, so they don't know what reference you're talking about and stuff like that. So tried this and that, and I'm glad everyone's sticking around. You know, this is really cool. 7 watching now. All right, and not a single Crystal Pepsi, which is a term for a certain thing that's opposite of one of these. That was coined by, we were talking about that last night on Johnny's show, because I mentioned that Crystal Pepsi. So I don't have any of those followers, which is cool. That just means everybody's cool.
Yeah, it's an apt moniker for Crystal Pepsi.
Or yeah, Crystal Pepsi likers. Like these are the people who like Crystal Pepsi or Zima or something like that. Zima. Yeah, I wonder if we should show yet another guitar. One that I'm dying for you to get tired of. So you can sell it to me.
No.
But he never will. I just love playing it. I know what's throwing you off playing a bit tonight too, is you're still using 11s for strings, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to use 11s, but I used to also be in drop C tuning, so I needed 11s, but I kind of liked the feel of them, but then I realized, why am I working so hard? So I dropped to 9s, and then a few weeks ago, he decided that as a band we were going to start tuning to E flat, then E. So now, well, yeah, you take it.
Oh,
All right.
by all means.
So yeah, tuning to E flat. So I started. I got some hybrid 9s to try it. Didn't get around to actually put them on for the last 2 shows we played in the lower tuning. I will say Open G tuning, tuned down another half step, was kind of slinky with 9s. Trying to play slide on it the other night. Not gonna lie, but I think I troopered through it
Yeah.
good enough. You know? So yeah, this little baby. God, I love this color. It's just wow. Oh yeah, Bridges went, oh, you found a spring as well. I thought you only found a screw. And you found a spring
I'm
too?
pretty sure it's a spring out of a light switch. Like a pull chain light switch
Okay,
for that
yeah,
lamp.
yeah. Yeah, somehow was that big?
But that is a bridge screw, just not a Kelly saddle screw.
Yeah,
Saddle screwed up.
when did that happen? Was that practice or a gig?
I have no idea. I don't even know how long it was missing before I actually noticed it. It might have been missing for like some time, or it might only be missing a day or two. Like
Yeah, one of
couldn't
these
tell
had
you.
backed out, and all of a sudden he's like, check this out. And the string is basically the only thing holding the saddle in place, and I was like, well, you don't see that every day, or one of those just backing out and deciding to leave town, but
There was just enough tension from the other saddles that it was actually staying in place and still intonating, but barely.
Yeah.
Just.
So yeah, and this is, where is this built?
Mexicano.
Oh yes, the lovely folks south of the border. Well, south of the other border, I guess. So
Where they're going to build a
south of the border to us is, well, America. Yeah, I love that color. Oh, just gorgeous. Ooh, yeah. And every time I pick this up, I just start playing. Which is weird, because I've been playing a lot of rosewood fretboards the last few, yeah, pretty much exclusively the last few years. But this one spoke to me. Bruce asks if we have any, do you guys have any guitars in standard tuning? Yeah, the ones I haven't tuned down since he decided to start tuning down. I haven't gotten around to tuning yet.
My acoustic and my bass. Oh, I know what the bass is.
No, the bass is, yeah, because Larry's been
My
using the bass.
acoustic is in standard still.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And which acoustic's that?
No, the Cork.
Oh, right. I was going to say, because you sold the Epi.
Yes.
Yeah, so my acoustic is probably in standard because I haven't played it since the last time I restrung it, sadly. The 67 Telly would be in standard. I haven't picked that up in a while. The Epi Les Paul's not together still. Speaking of which, is Potter watching? 'Cause I can't remember that pickup. Was that a bridge pickup or a neck pickup?
Yeah, it's a bridge.
It is a bridge.
Yeah.
All right. So for some reason I keep thinking it's a neck. I'm like, well, maybe I won't. Yeah.
It's a bridge.
You guys have any questions, comments out there? Well, 4 people watching. We're going, what, an hour? We did an hour. I did my first show. I did an hour. I was hoping for half an hour tonight just to kind of try it out. So, yeah, nothing in standard tuning really, Bruce, just because it would I'll tell you, I play drop D tuning for one song a night, right? Yeah, I only do it once a night. It was the second to last song. I forgot to retune for the last song of the set. And I was wondering why I was sounding a little off on, but we weren't using the E string a whole lot in that song, or whatever I was doing, because I have a tendency to not always play root notes, much to the bafflement of our bass player. It really annoys him, especially if he's trying to cheat which chord we're playing or something. But I figured that's it. He holds down the root. He's always hitting root notes, so I don't, and just try to add a different dynamic. You know, play the same chord somewhere else on the fretboard or something. Well, when we first started playing together with Larry, he had mentioned that to me. He goes, "Then Kiss, dynamic. Ace never played what Paul was playing." I was like, okay. Yeah. And I thought, yeah, I know other bands, do that as well. And I don't play root notes as much anymore as a result. So there we go. So yeah, maybe we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I appreciate everybody tuning in.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rich, for coming on. And helping out hosting.
It's been fun. It's been a blast.
We'll figure out next time. I'll put up some little vid letting you guys know next time we'll do an actual live thing. If there's anything you want to see or hear or whatever, comment below if you're watching after the fact, or message me. Easy to find. You can follow me on here, obviously, Instagram. I just put the initial D in front of my name. That's why I usually go by D Van Coombs. On Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I keep it easy. It's just my name. I'm just me. I'm just a guy. Doing my thing. Jane James says, "Thanks, guys. See you next time." And Rich, you have anything you want to give it? Well, I suppose we could shout out the band page again.
Yeah. Honey Badgers. Let's see what we can do. Oh, geez, we got Pop and Bubble Wrap. Yeah, they're
Here we go. Oh. We don't know if it's there because we're delayed. Here we go. Da, da, da. Yes, the Honey Badger outfit. Established 2017. We're on Facebook. Thanks, R2. He says, "Good job for the first show." Yeah, once we get going, we're just shooting this on an iPad in the basement. I hope it sounds. I'll watch it afterwards, and eventually I'd like to get. Well, we have mics and stuff if we shoot from here and stuff like that. I don't really have a whole lot at home. I'm just gonna probably shoot off my phone at home, what have you. But we'll figure it out and go from there. And as things grow, I'll get better gear and stuff. And so I won't be spending all my money on guitars and pedals. I'll be spending most of my money on guitars and pedals, and some money on some mics and cameras and maybe stuff like that. So yeah, thanks again everybody for tuning in, and yeah, thanks. See you soon.
Hey folks, thanks for dropping by.